Your ability to focus on anything will decide your future.
Take effing action, put it together, and subscribe to Tom Peng's channel on YouTube now. Yeah, I like it. It's crazy.
Focus. It's so important, obvious. But people are less and less able to focus today. Why? Because, we're in an information overload age, right? When we go out, we see a lot of advertising. When we, go on YouTube, Facebook, there's just so much information coming to us. There's so much information being pumped to us. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Fire hose being like a fire truck, the fire hose, right? We are constantly being overloaded with information. That's why we have a very hard time, focusing. I want you to look at, your work environment, right? I want to talk about my work environment. Every day there are so many distractions, right? I have at least 37 things I have to do, and then this person coming to my office, that person coming to my office, this person sent me a message, that person sent me a message. It's constant distraction. And the human brain is really not good at that, at handling, so many things at once. Because if anybody tells you that they're good at multitasking, it can't be true, because our human brain is designed to only handle one thing at a time. I want you to think about like our ancestors 5,000 years ago, or maybe 10,000 years ago, when we're still hunter-gatherers, like we barely can speak a language, and we have to hunt animals for a living, right? We go through the forest, which for food, right? So at that time, ability to focus is very important, because if you focus on the wrong thing, you will die. If you focus on the wrong thing, you're going to be eaten by a lion or a tiger, right? So the brain has developed mechanisms to filter out information that are not important. So if you're looking for food, you're looking for food. If you're hiding from predator, you're hiding from predator. You can only focus on, a few things at a time, not all of it. You cannot absorb all the information around you. You can only focus on, what you focus on. So I want you to think about the last time you went to a party. I know like COVID-19, you're not supposed to go to parties. But let's say last time you went to a party, or like a gathering. Maybe you guys all met at a coffee shop, right? Everybody has a different focus. Maybe you talked to some people in the party and you had a good time. But maybe someone else, they went to the same party, but they did not have a good time because they talked to different people than you, and they focus on different things than you. So their focus did not give them the happiness they want. So maybe you focus on some people and conversation in that party that gave you a very positive experience, where other person did not. So what you focus on will ultimately determine the experience, the outcome, the result. And I said this before, like if you focus on problems every day, if you just think about what problems can come, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this fails? What if, I cannot borrow the money? What if, this economy, tanks? What if you're always thinking about problems, if you always focus on problems, that's what you have. You have a lot of problems. And if you're focused on solving problems, then you will solve a lot of problems. You'll become a problem solver. And those problems are not scary anymore, right? If you focus on happiness, like how to be a happy person, if you focus on the happy things in your life, you will be happy. You'll be constantly happy. That's what the Buddhist teaching tells you, right? Because life is suffering. So focus on yourself, your happiness, and then you'll be happy. Thought becomes reality, right? Maybe you're poor, maybe you're hungry, but that's okay. Just focus on happiness and you'll be happy. That's pretty much the Buddhist thought. And in a way, it's true. If you focus on everything bad in the world, if you focus on sadness, if you focus on how people treat you wrong, and everybody will seem like they treat you wrong. If you only think about how people mistreat you, everybody will mistreat you, because that's what you focus on. You don't see how other people are treating you better, treating you nicely. You forget that actually there are nice people out there, because you only focus on the bad people that treat you not so good, right? So what we focus determines the experience, the outcome, the result, right? So you gotta focus on the right thing, and you gotta be able to focus on one thing at a time, right? You cannot do 25, 70 things at the same time, because ultimately that will not give you the result you want. And I can tell you that from my own experience, because there's always 50 things happening, right? If I'm doing this, and then somebody come to my office and say, we need to sign contract, blah, blah, blah. And then I sign contract and I get back to this, I'm like, where am I? What am I doing? I forgot. So my brain is kind of like getting stupider and stupider and stupider because of that. Like every day, somebody comes to my office and say, do this and do that and do this. I can't focus on one thing at a time. So my brain is degenerating. Like I'm getting more and more stupid. What I'm saying is that focus is very important. What you focus on will determine your experience and your result. And you must focus one thing at a time. Do not allow many things to distract you, because if something distracts you, it's really hard for you to get back to it. So maybe you're doing something, maybe you're doing payroll calculation, and then somebody says, hey, we need to work on this contract, and then you work on that contract and you get back to the payroll calculation. It's like, where was I? What was I thinking? I forgot where I left it. And then it's gonna take you half an hour just to figure out what you did before and to pick it up, right? So distractions are very expensive. Distractions in the workplace are very expensive. If your employees are constantly being bothered by their Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, bing, bing, bling, 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 ka-ching, ka-ching, all those notifications, if they're constantly being disturbed by it, they're probably not going to be very productive. So, that's something to pay attention to, right? I mean, if they're constantly being distracted, what can you do to make sure they stay focused, right? Because that is going to be the most expensive thing in your company in terms of human resources, in terms of productivity. It's all the constant distractions inside the company, distracting your employee away from their mission, from their task, from what they need to do now, right? So take fucking action. Think about what I said. Focus is very important. What you focus on determines your experience and your result. And remember, you can only really focus one thing at a time. So stay focused as long as possible and reduce the amount of distractions in your life. Take fucking action, and as always, don't be a fucktard.